Hi everyone. Good evening. We'll wait for a few more minutes for people to join in and we'll start the webinar. Can we start, Shilpa?
Second. Yeah, we can go ahead. Sounds fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Welcome to today's session. Today's webinar topic is AIML roadmap driving the future of intelligent connectivity. So before starting the webinar, I will quickly introduce today's speaker. So today's speaker is Shilpa Das. She's a passionate career growth specialist with over 8 years of experience in career consulting, academic advising, and professional development. At Great Learning, she has been an instrumental in guiding aspiring professionals and learners in data science and artificial intelligence towards meaningful career transformations. She has deep insights into evolving tech landscape and empowers individuals to unlock their true potential in the world of AI and emerging technologies. We welcome you, Shilpa. Thank you for joining today for this session. So,
Right.
before handing over the session to the speaker, I would like to give you few instruction about this webinar. This is a listen only mode webinar. So whatever the queries that you have, you can either put it in the chat box or you can use the Q&A section, which is in the below menu bar. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys. Over to you, Shilpa.
Right. Hi, everyone. Very good evening to you all. To those who have joined me today in this particular evening, of course, yes, while we talk about the most, I think the hot topic of the moment right now across, I would like to break it down in terms of the kind of opportunities, the confusion that we all have in our mind when it comes to AI and machine learning and where it is heading, where we all are heading with it, and what could be the career progression for individuals, both coming in from a technical and a non-technical pathway, and how can we, take the right career choice. So with that, let me just begin, the session, and please feel free to raise any questions which I'll address most likely in the end of this particular discussion, so that we can keep it more smoother. So having said that, I think what we all understand at this point in time, and we have been understanding in the field of AI, is that AI is an ever growing domain. I think ChatGPT 5.0 was one of the critical examples of it, and all of us are still, while some of us are still having the question of what is the potential and where it is going, or shall we wait for AI to, just go off in another 1 2 years, and then everything comes back to normal, while the others are losing their job opportunities and in despite or desperate need for a job opportunity, directionless finding opportunities in the market. So I'll tell you the basic. I mean, I'll start from ground up so that we can understand the concept and the logic so that we can relate to what we are doing and what we can do in this particular domain as well. So AI as has been there in the market. I mean, this term was coined back in 1955. And the purpose of AI initially, while it was automation, it actually grew with much more of its capacity to optimize any process, increase efficiency, reduce time, reduce cost, and reduce human intervention. That is predominantly what AI does. And this is applicable to whichever industry, field, background, domain you all are coming from. It has nothing to do with me being from a non technical background. My work might not be automated, not really. Every single organization is investing millions of dollars to figure out how to leverage AI and machine learning. So while they are into this particular field of leveraging AI at this particular point in time, what they are also wanting are people, are leaders, are people who have a problem solving mentality. Because anybody who is looking at a sustainability, at a growth, be it in the same organization, be it you having or coming from a technical background, be it you coming from a non technical background, if you're talking about transition, if you're talking about growth, it is only possible when you are a effective problem solver, be it any way. And at this point in time, when the companies are wanting to solve problems utilizing technology, anybody who is onboarded with that particular mindset has and will be growing. That's the only pathway that we can, that you will be growing, irrespective of it being a technology era, whichever era it might be. Correct, right? So when we talk about the data literacy, as per the report of 2024, it says that 62% of the leaders believe that AI literacy is crucial for their teams. Professionals who are right now probably working with ChatGPT, most of us are working as an end user. All of us rather are working as an end user, where we are probably getting our some part of our task, probably writing in emails or responding formally. We're doing it through ChatGPT into, or transcribing calls at this point in time using, Gemini to figure out what are the compliance issues, and all of those things are already being utilized, but we are actually using them as an end user. Any organization to utilize a third party resource or a tool like ChatGPT or a Gemini, there are two problems that comes across. One is to be able to outsource the actual variation or version of that particular tool, which is pretty costly. Second is to be able to go ahead and share the data, because data is money at this point in time. We all have heard data is the new oil. It is. And it is all of us, every single one of us are some or the other source of data for some or the other organization. And every organization is trying to figure out how they can utilize this particular data. So data security, responsibly using AI is very, very important aspect, which is when the requirement of people, individuals, career professionals to be able to learn, to be able to have the literacy in AI and a formal literacy in AI becomes, inevitable for all of us. Talking about the second aspect of understanding that, oh yeah, this is going to be something that will not go ahead and continue. To all my friends out there, that's not true. This is something which is where we are heading. I mean, if you understand the background of AI, we are trying to mimic human brain. Brain has, millions of connections, which it can do on its own. Of course, yes, going ahead and having an emotional judgment or judgment based on experience that AI cannot replicate. Hence, human will still be there. So people who are thinking that their jobs will be completely replaced, yes, if they are not updating themselves with technology, not walking with the technology. Because people who are doing the redundant work day in, day out, which can be automated, that job will not exist. It's happening across. So it's high time for Anyone who is coming with the mindset of growth or who wants to have a sustainable career from here is to walk with the industry, is to ensure that they can leverage also AI at this point in time to be able to solve problems and present their potentials to the organization, propose their ideas, propose their proof of concepts, ensuring that they are able to produce their potential or potentiality in that organization to be able to go ahead and continue working, right? And for that, a formal education in AI and machine learning is, as I said, inevitable, because without learning AI and machine learning formally, nobody will be able to go ahead and actually get to that particular segmentation. Now, having said that, I think, artificial intelligence, as I mentioned, while it is from the background of computer science, it is not very directly related to computer science as well. It is, as I said, it's actually human-like intelligence that we want to replicate. And only if you talk about Newton, one of the only ones existing across the globe who used 10% of his brain. A normal and a typical human being uses only, I mean, the maximum is about 6% of their brain. So we are heading towards a position where we are trying to leverage or how we can create these artificial networks or networking or trying to mimic the human intelligence using AI. So this is not going anywhere. This is here for the past, it is here since 1955. It is going to be there for the next, 2, 3, 4, 5 decades, how many decades you want to count for yourself, because this is something which is only increasing the efficiency of being the organization, be it the individuals out there. So there is no way that, we can go ahead and run away from this. Having said that, AI as a learning, I mean, when we talk about the pathway, while come across a lot of questions as to what are the ones that we need to, what are the things that we need to go ahead and learn in AI and machine learning. There are many there are pathways towards that which I would like to discuss. Of course, one of the major things is to understand the natural language, to recognize patterns, to learn how to take data driven or take decisions, and of course learn from the data and the experience, right? So that is what AI does on our behalf. And when you talk about learning that particular AI, that has a proper pathway to be done as well, which I'll come to in a couple of more minutes. Having said that, I think it's needless for me to talk about. While, I say this needless, I think a lot of us needs a little more understanding on why that particular aspect becomes inevitable, not just for contributing to the organization, but to also ensure that we ourselves reach to a level of efficiency and utilize the data in our favor, which is what the new normal or new norm is. Right. So embracing this change is only going to make us better, be it at an individual level, be it at you being an individual contributing to an organization, be it you being a individual contributing back to the society. At the end of the day, what it does or what it can do, AI is being it a fast growing field which requires one to learn all the aspect. I mean, we cannot just jump into generative AI thinking, I can just learn generative AI or just agentic AI and then everything is done, because that's a third wave of AI. No. The beauty of AI is if you don't understand the past, the present does not make sense, you cannot build the future. AI and machine learning, when I talk about without machine learning, deep learning does not exist. Without deep learning, NLP does not exist. Without NLP, Gen AI doesn't make sense. Without Gen AI, you cannot make sense out of agentic AI. So that's where the learning journey begins, and everything is interconnected. So while it's a fast growing field, it has opportunities for people in the market. If I talk about, it's the ever growing market as per the statistics that you see as well, where the fastest growing job opportunities, even the current roles and traditional roles are also being updated right now, where the normal requirement into functional roles or rather into techno functional roles are also there for AI or Python or someone implementing machine learning concepts or optimization techniques out there. So some of the other aspects of AI has already taken over in most of the traditional job roles that you see out there. On top of this, since the demand is higher than supply, I think we all understand it's a high paying job opportunity, which is to do with the demand versus supply kind of a situation right now, where the demand is definitely higher. And since the organizations are typically able to replace three people with just one effective person, the companies are ready to pay more, but they're not ready to take suboptimal people from any XYZ place, claiming to know any XYZ things. No. Companies are very, very specific of from where you have done, the duration of the learning that you have taken, and what or how have you solved a problem for wherever you've taken. What problems have you solved? What projects, the hands-on that you've worked on? Which for the organizations is very clear, because if the normal resume selection processes are not manual anymore. It's actually utilizing majority of the company. If I'm being very precise, it's about 62% of the organizations have already embraced, their systems are already working with ATS, application tracking systems, which means companies have already implemented machine learning in their, filtration of the resume itself. Even if you cross that particular resume selection criteria, you're sitting in that particular table, the company, the recruiter is going to go ahead and ask give you a problem statement to solve in simple terms. And if you're just coming back with one way of approach, or just solving it in just, in a suboptimal way, that's not going to cut it anymore. Just having one way of approach, not going to cut it anymore, because you have to backtrack, you have to tell how did you optimize, how did you come to that accuracy level. All of these things are interconnected, which requires us to have the right learning and the comprehensiveness, and to be able to go ahead and learn the hands-on in AI. So AI being a high-paying job is directly proportional to the fact that the demand is higher than supply. And since typically, if you look at the ratio, one person is able to replace three people out there. So that's the normal math where companies are okay to pay you more. And intellectually, if we talk about, I think capitalizing the market happens in many ways. A lot of us see a lot of benefits in investing into mutual funds, while we question our decisions to actually invest in our own career. And that's very saddening, genuinely speaking, when people do not really value the importance of time at the right time as well. So when we want to capitalize the market, any individual out there needs to actually ensure that they are working with the industry. They are not classic example. TCS being one of the top companies who hires freshers, always did, right? Look at the fresher hiring stats at this point in time. Why are they not hiring freshers anymore? Because the curriculum, what you learn in a college, has nothing to do with what you do in an organization. And they do not need so many people. No company does. And they're operating at a pretty high, optimal level at this point in time. Which means AI, I mean, while it might look like, should I do it? Shall I wait for a couple of more years? That's a worse that, or rather, that's time is money. And that once you lose that particular time, you're losing not just the money, you cannot bring it back as well. Right. So having said that, talking about the most important, aspect of how to learn AI from the scratch in 2025. I think 2025 is already towards an end, and that is already, I mean, as per the current expectation in the market as well, all of us, since we are also approaching April, that is the appraisal cycle, right? It's high time for any individual who is looking out for an opportunity, who is looking to be a part of the new projects that is coming our way, be it into generative AI and agentic AI, to actually get this started, get this learning started. So to begin with, what it requires is a strategic approach. So AI, if you look at AI, out of four pillars, three pillars are statistics and mathematics, and one pillar is technology. And if I talk about the learning journey, of course, yes, I think mathematics we all have done in our graduation. We all have probably done it in our 10th, 12th as well. Statistics, yes, some of us until 12th standard. But this is a core part which is to do with logic and which is to do with mathematics and statistics while there is technology involved. But the question is it something that is my cup of tea? I think I hear a lot of these things, right? Especially from people who come up from a BA background, or people coming in from a non-technical background, people coming in from a non-statistical, mathematical graduation. Right. So anything that we did so far, be it our graduation, be it our even when we started as a in schools as well, right? We did not learn it from beginning. I mean, we did not just knew everything from beginning, from the time we are born. We learned, and we learned from scratch, right? So when you learn it from the right level, any one of us will be able to go ahead and do this. And the second point is there is no alternative. At this point in time, technology wise, there is no other alternative that we have which has an equal impact and an equal opportunity in the market, which automatically brings us to a position where we need to make this work. That's the mentality that one should have. That's the willingness to learn. Talking about the AI skills, as I mentioned, I think it works in Python. While you learn AI and machine learning, statistics, mastering the data collection, analysis, and interpretability or interpretation, then mathematics will focus on linear algebra, calculus, probability for AI applications, programming, Python, R. I know all of you all are good in doing chat GPTs yourself. And all of you all have been doing a lot of research yourself as well, I'm sure, while you're joining this particular webinar where there are too many informations. Like too many things. People are telling this is what you have to learn, and there are small amount of courses available here, there. The point is small courses, short learnings, testing yourself whether I can really, this is my cup of tea or not. Sorry, this is this if we want to make a career, if we want to sustain in the market, this is not the approach that is going to help us in any possibility, right? And anything learned from scratch can actually be learned by any one of us, right? And the most important pointer to all the people who are coming in from a non-technical domain who feels, or even technical domain who are coming from Java and feel that Python is tough. Again, as I said, Java is one language, Python is another language. Python is easier because it has more libraries. It actually works. I mean, if you look at the syntaxing, if you look at its terms, it's pretty much like normal English. So it is way easier if you know one language. It's very easy for you to actually cope up in Python. For the ones who are coming from a non-technical background, since the language is more or less, I mean, if I have to break it down or talk in layman's term, it is like conversing in English. It becomes easier because it is also logic driven. So anything which is logic driven, we all are logical beings ourselves. We should be able to go ahead and learn anything that we learn from scratch. We can, and we definitely and most definitely do it. So having said that, learning Python, understanding the there are tools, of course, which is utilized. Rather, I would not present it as tools. It is actually models. These are pre-trained models which are there in the market. So for most of our problems, or most of the current AI implementation has already pre-trained models that we have. Be it Hugging Face, LangChains, which is available. We all have heard it here and there, and they have their applications, right? And learning how to train those models as per the expectation of the organization is what takes you from you being able to solve a higher order problem statement, or being able to go ahead and contribute creating proof of concepts, right? Now coming to the roadmap, of course, I mean, typically it is a journey. I mean, since one of the common questions in your interviews are also going to be the duration of the AI machine learning program, somebody thinking a short-term crash course working out for them at this point in time, that will not cut it anymore. So foundations in itself takes close to about 1 to 3 months, like understanding the mathematics basics, Python programming, data manipulation. Be it when we move to level 2, that's when we come into AI and machine learning, where we learn machine learning algorithms, model training, how to train those models. AI concepts, of course, you get introduced to AI concepts, and then you get into deeper knowledge. That is level 3, where you specialize. You now get into deep learning, you get into NLP, get into computer vision, ML ops, domain expertise, domain exposure. And then you get into the final pathway, which is where you actually learn how to get into the advanced segment of being into, advanced of NLP, which is generative AI, and getting into more of lang chains, prompt engineering, then getting into generative AI, right? So AI ethics, industry trends, advanced specialization, which is going to be a continuous. Basically, now you are able to learn how it impacts and how it solves those higher level problem statements as well. So that's the kind of, typical duration it takes, which is somewhere between 11 to 12 months is an ideal time for someone who wants to really make a career in AI and machine learning, or to get into that particular position. And it is irrespective. Anybody out there who feels that I am at a higher position does not require to learn the technology. Uh, it depends, of course, yes, it depends in many different situations. A person already working with AI does not have to work with, the core coding side of the process, might get into something to do with AI and leadership, but that has its applications or its reservations. I mean, it has its own outcome. So any learning that any one of us should choose should actually be driven by the outcome, what we are expecting. So at a higher level also, I have seen, I mean, top C-suite level profiles getting into a doctorate in AI, right? That's a 3 years journey for that matter, right? Where time is the biggest crunch that they have, of course, yes. But still, the doctorate in AI, the 3 years of journey, still the 12 months program, while they will not be nowhere near to coding is what their job role is. It is not. So don't have your reservations around the fact that, no, I am in a leadership, I might not be requiring, the coding. So why you require, yeah, of course, you might not be requiring the coding, you will not be doing the coding. Whoever will be in your team requires somebody who they report to, requires somebody to actually efficiently track them. For you being an effective leader, that tracking will happen only when we know what is happening at the ground level. That's the basic of any domain, when we have to have that kind of a grasp in the market, or in that kind of a hold where we know what is happening, where we know how to make things better. Because you are a leader and you're a person who is driving the team, where you can solve the problem for them when they cannot come up with that kind of a solution. So that's when you need to understand what is the expectation and how we can reach there, right? So I think this is for people most definitely who are early on, or rather the ones who are looking for a transition completely, that is talking about completely moving into a role like a data scientist or a machine learning engineer or a research scientist, which are all individual contribution roles out here, right? While this is good, and while I think, I am not going to get into the process where I'm telling you what are the skills that you have. You all know this very well. What I'm going to talk about is why or how we should approach this. So there are two things, right? One is domain. Let's assume the left hand side we have domain and the right hand side we have technology. We know, of course, our technology that we are learning is AI. Domain that we have, there are two ways. One, as an individual, be it a person having 1 year of experience, a 5 years experience candidate, a 10 year, 12 year, 15 year, 20 years experience candidate, 25 years, 30 plus years, whatever might be your years of experience. These are the only two ways that we can approach this. One is where we are in the same domain, integrating AI in our current domain or responsibility. This is where we utilize our previous years of experience and go from here to the next level. That's a typical, or rather, that's an exponential growth. We're going from where we are and we are moving to the next. Okay. The second segment that we have is where you have a complete transition, means you're changing your domain as well as you're changing your technology. That's when technology being, of course, AI, that's what we are talking about. So that's a complete transition. So at any given point in time, anyone deciding and anyone looking at any such pathway should have both of these learnings or both of these segments open up for them. Because we never know what could give us the best outcome at the end of the day as well. Hmm? Now, talking about the outcome. So, of course, yes, I mean, while you have been, I mean, some of you have already known great learning for a while now. Great learning has been, I mean, I would say, a pioneer in the field of AI and machine learning for a significant while. When I say significant while, we started our BABI program back in 2013. There was a year where people hardly knew about machine learning. R as a language used to be there before, is when we started this off, right? When we started about business intelligence for that matter. So the agenda of great learning being great learning, or the program being over here, or providing AI, machine learning, data science related courses, intelligence related automation courses, has not been something that was evolved or that started with us because this became a booming technology. This is something that we initiated from day one, and that was something that we had. I mean, we are grounded. Our entire great learning stands at that particular point where we are able to provide quality education at the most affordable cost. So when you talk about great learning, it has the collaboration with the top universities. And when I say the top universities, these are not just the programs which you pay for and get a certificate. No, these are all, well and end-to-end evaluated programs that you get, being it from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, be it from University of Texas at Austin, be it from Northwestern, be it from IT Bombay for that matter, or the top university-led courses, John Hopkins for that matter, right, are associated. And this is something that we have built, and we serve in 110 plus countries across the globe, which from where we have our paid users, and 170 plus countries across the globe as well, with 4,400 plus hiring partners as of today. So we have already reached, and we are glad to say that we have 12 million learners empowered across 170 plus countries, and delivered 200 million plus hours of learning with an average session rating of 4.8 out of 5, because of the personalization, because of the set of people that we work with. Right now, having said that, coming to the program and the learning journey, I think majority of us, while want to understand what could be the right pathway, there are ways that you can always go ahead and reach out. So having said that, there is a PGP, of course. When we talk about a comprehensive learning in AI and machine learning, the level one at any level of AI, when someone wants to have a grasp or depth in AI, requires to go by the 12 months course. And this 12 months course is a 360-degree learning that we have, which comes with a dual certification with UT Austin and Great Lakes. And being a US driven program, the program is already 3 to 6 months ahead of time, and it's already and is actually updated every 3 to 6 months as well, right? Because I know one of the common questions that we all have in our mind is, AI is growing every second probably, and how do we keep up with the pace? Which is a very true thing, and that's when, I mean, a US driven program, because US is the early adopter of a technology, and US. When you talk about UT Austin, it's a pioneer in the field of AI and machine learning. It has a center of excellence in innovative technologies and has been a pioneer in this particular segmentation for over 2.5 decades. Right. So when it comes to that, the learning that you have, the pathway that you have, and what we discussed about the journey from the scratch, this program is, going to be starting from the scratch itself. People who are coming with a background in Python, please note that the program is personalized. So it doesn't mean that you will have to go ahead and do the Python once again. No, it is going to be starting from Python and Yan Shilpa. People who are the ones who are coming in from a non-technical background, thinking that, oh my God, this is out of my, I don't think I can make it. Not really. This is a program which is personalized, where you're put in a very, very closed group of 25 learners coming in from a similar portfolio background domain as that of you. So this is something which ensures what you're learning, not just matching the pace, but also we learn it from our level, and we implement and we move from this to the next level. And that's the kind of personalized journey it has been. I think UT Austin has been with us for over 12 years now. So this particular program is specifically designed. I mean, one of the other common questions that we all have is how we'll be able to go ahead and give time. Now, see, professional and personal commitments will always grow with time. There is no time, an ideal time in the future that we will not have commitments and we will be 100% ready for any course, be it this or be it anything. There's no time like that in the future. So, all of us need to actually, so being at our comfort level and doing a program or doing a transition, asking for growth, not going to happen. And that's when this program is curated for people like working professional, understanding aspects of their professional commitment and personal commitment, which is when you can learn, anytime. As I mentioned before, we serve in 170 plus countries. You can learn anytime. The weekly time commitments are actually pretty, I would say flexible. When it comes to weekend classes, the weekend classes, when majority of us are on leave, is when you have the live interactive session, and these are also very optimal timelines. That is when you have these sessions. So you have 2 to 3 hours of time in a week, in the weekend. That is either Saturdays or Sundays. We have the live interactive sessions, right? Most importantly, as I said before, 25 learners coming in from a similar portfolio, similar interest, which actually makes it a personalized group of training. People who are coming in from a non-technical background will have that kind of a similar grouping as well. With and all of this, I mean, without having credibility, without having the skill set, getting a program to provide a program support or a career opportunity is not possible. So this program will be, with 4,400 plus direct hiring partners, the program is curated. It's an outcome-driven program. Right. So with this is where you get a dual certification once you successfully complete the program. It's a PGP, which where you have to earn the certificate as well. So once you successfully earn the certificate, these two universities actually give you you get the certificate from both the universities. Now, having said that, coming to the curriculum, I think I already a bit of it I reflected on. So while you learn this, it starts from the basics and the foundations of Python and data science. It moves from there to machine learning and advanced techniques. You learn neural networks and computer vision, generative AI and natural language processing. Then you even learn the model deployment and the ML ops side of the process. So what AI has done so far is actually it has created or connected different departments. And that's how efficiency has grown as well. Again, I mean, I think I have taken this classic example before as well. Uh, Earlier, when we talk about testing used to be manual in nature. Of course, it had a lot of issues, and then it moved to automation testing using Selenium and using JavaScript for that matter as well. And it showed improvement in terms of efficiency, in terms of it being able to resolve or it being able to go ahead and process things faster. All of it was going good until we started tapping into the potential of AI. What AI has done is it has not 100% replaced. It cannot replace, as I said, human judgment. So while support roles are 60% down, the QA has evolved with this 40% while giving the same outcome. Now we don't require the development to happen and then it has to go to testing. No, AI is capable enough to actually go ahead and do the testing while the development is happening to predict the future anomalies. Which means a person from the QA has to work very closely with the development team, understanding the development cycle of the process. They might not be the ones who will be doing the core coding, but they will be the ones who are actually creating models who can actually efficiently go ahead and pick out or do the predictive analytics to figure out whether that development is going to be a fruitful outcome or not. And that's the kind of potential it has, and that's how one person is typically able to replace three people, as that one of the classic examples. So while we understand the other aspects of AI, model deployment and ML ops is something which is also important. Alongside of that, you learn SQL and statistics. I think that is something which is the core part of AI machine learning. This UT Austin program and Great Lakes program has a proper roadmap and something that is tried and tested and has been working efficiently for a significant norm, right? So having said that, I think we have come towards the end of our discussion. But before we go to this, I would just like to also add, right? So there are folks who are already working in AI. A lot of you reach out to me and tell me that you're already in AI and so on and so forth. So there are many ways that we can. So it is all of the learning journey should be based on outcome driven. That's one. Second is the purpose or the value addition that we want to do. While we must be working, but if we don't have a formal education, we must be working in AI based on projects. So it's a project specific learning that we have had, which might involve generative AI, which might just have AI. But the question is, given a situation where you are or we have to lead without you being able to solve a problem optimally, keeping everything in loop, there could be some or the other ways that we are finding gaps in the work, which is why companies are reliant on people or asking or adding resources from outside as well, not just relying onto just one person talking about it or just a group of people talking about it. So that's when building credibility in the field of AI for them is also very important. Second, I mean, one of the classic examples that I keep telling, right? So while this is the UT Austin program is the pathway towards the master's, as well as the same program is also the first year of a doctorate program, right? So there are levels in AI. So the deeper knowledge you get, it has outcomes based on the expectation and the candidature and the level, the profile that you're coming from, and what kind of a opportunity you can look at. There are opportunities with UT Austin, which provides an AI for leaders program. Mind you all, it is not a leadership in AI program. It is an AI in leadership. And these are two different segments all put together. People who are leaders, they already know how to do leadership. They have been having that experience. They do not need a certificate to certify that they are good leaders. What they require is to learn how to leverage AI in leadership, not learn leadership in AI. So understand these things and understand how you can go ahead and build your credibility. Understand the depth of knowledge that you can get into, because there is no alternative. If you talk about the topmost people in any organization, be it a CTO level, be it a CXO level, whichever segment you want to talk about, right? One thing that we all find in common is a continuous learning pathway. So somebody who wants really an outcome from this, have been able to go ahead and leverage education, leverage the right learning with the right direction, right? So for that, of course, we are right here. I understand there's a lot to take in. I understand there is a lot of ways that we have been talking about in terms of what and how it can help you individually. Please reach out to us, right? So you have great learning directly where you can go ahead and all reach out for that matter. While I think I've already discussed about all the aspects, I would be happy to take some questions from here. I'll just
Uh,
stop the share.
Hi Shilpa, I'm just getting few questions here.
Yeah.
So
I'll just check this
one
out.
of the attendees asking like if is
Hmm.
BTech mechanical eligible or not for the program?
Huh. Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry, the name says B2. So I'll just go ahead and, mention you that yes, absolutely yes. Mechanical engineering background, you're already BTech. I have people from a BA background, and typically I have people, or 62% of the people in this particular program coming in from a non-technical domain. So yes, you are eligible to answer your question.
Uh,
Sheetal is there, right? The next one. Am I reading it in the chat correctly?
yes.
Okay. Most companies, I saw this in the JD. Yes, of course. I mean, talking about frameworks, Sheetal, it also depends on the kind of role that you're currently in. Yes, that's a part of the learning journey that you have when it comes to Python, or when it comes to AI and machine learning, the tools you learn close to about 27 plus pre models, pre-existing models, and how you can, fine tune, or how you can train those models accordingly. So yes, as I said in my discussion also, any role that you see which was traditionally available back in 2020, 21, even 22 as well, even the roles that you all are working on, right? So yes, it is an agentic AI framework, and without learning machine learning, without learning deep learning, understanding agentic AI works on lang chains. Lang chains you need to understand first before you jump into agentic AI also. So as I said, the backtracking, you have to understand the core to be able to get into level three. Just jumping into level three without the base of a building, just creating the third level of the story, is not going to help you. That's the point, right? So while we get fascinated about agentic AI, I think one of the things that I know all of you all have in your mind is the duration. Like in this particular journey, of 12 months of duration, how does it add, or how does it, sustain that longevity? So the point is, while you actually go ahead and you can fast track your learning, or rather you can go ahead and just learn bits and parts of AI and machine learning, when you look at a longevity in the market, right, you will have to keep doing the same things again and again. You'll have to come back to the basics again and again. So it's just a one time thing, and you can build on top of this, because nothing will else will be able to go ahead and nothing else you'll be able to build beyond um, learning the basics and then getting into step by step level, and simultaneously learning, because generative AI in this particular program, you learn from day one in the program as well, so that you can cater to the current projects and agentic AI frameworks simultaneously. Is it not a good idea to go for an MS US at this particular point? Oh my God. US H1B is 1 lakh US dollars, right? Which is 1 crore for Indians. It is good, but the situation in the market, the geopolitical situation in the market is not good. Whatever decision we make, I mean, see, any company does not expect any one of you as working professionals to take a sabbatical from work and then come back and start learning. While, of course, I mean, there is no two way about the fact that if any one of us does a master's on campus, has a better return or not. Yes, it has. There is no question about it. But the point is there a feasibility that any one of us, first of all, cost feasibility, opportunities after investing that amount of money, right? And third is the geopolitical situation across the globe, which is more important. And fourth, and the most important thing is prioritization. Anybody who is looking at a growth in the market or being able to handle AI projects, the priority is to be able to handle AI projects, not to get outside of India right away, right? That will come. That will be something that we need to plan for, not immediately, not my priority number one. Hmm? Second is talking about the masters. Yes, masters are available. Masters, even this program has online, and no company has any specific. Since, I think you have been asking me this, Sheetal, you yourself will be able to see the organizations who are asking for Llama agentic AI frameworks to be put across, or LangChains, or prompt engineering, integration, or LLMs to fine tune the, LLM engineers out there. All of these organizations are not expecting anyone to do a comprehensive take sabbatical and then do come back. Not really. So prioritization is very important on what we want. As I said before, outcome that we are expecting, and priority on that outcome is very important. And luxury, we don't have the luxury of time as well at this point in time. We are already, I mean, if this would have been a discussion in 2020, we have ample amount of time. It's 2025. AI is in the implementation, not in the inception phase anymore. People are losing their jobs right now. So companies have a backup. They're already implementing it. So that's when, it's high time in the market as well. While it's an ever-growing domain, it's very critical for anyone to learn. Yes,
Uh,
Amit.
Shilpa,
Yeah.
there are a few questions in the Q&A section. I will just
Q&A
read it
section
out.
also. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
There is one question for the fee of the program. I think for that,
Hmm.
I will be sharing a Google form to everyone right now.
Yeah.
So if you have any queries regarding the fee structure, or Shilpa had already given you the details about the curriculum and also the course structure entirely. But even though if you have few more queries, right, regarding maybe the projects that will be done in the program or any other doubts regarding the curriculum structure, you can just fill this form and you can reach out to one of our LCs, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
consultants, yes, of course. And any one of you, since you have spent a good amount of time together, this is, been a while now. I mean, I've been doing this for a while now. So I have also mentioned my email ID to you guys. I'll just edit this a little bit. Okay, I'm just mentioning my email ID completely. Greatlearning.in. So anybody who is having fee related, course related issues, please reach out upfront. I have given my WhatsApp number as well for any one of you to reach out as well. Apart from this, I think somebody has asked me how will you manage to complete a whole program in just a span of 12 months? That's when you
Yes.
have, level one, level two, and level three. Depends on what kind of an outcome that you're expecting from that learning. It's a vast syllabus, no doubts there, right? So, being from a CSE background yourself, if you talk about the curriculum, right? See, one of all of us have one thing in common or one thing ingrained in us, that is, uh, you have done CSE, right? CSE is engineering 4 years, right? What percent, even if you are working in a core technical job role, just 5 to 10% of what you'll learn in 4 years of engineering is relevant. Companies do not work from the perspective of concepts and just theory, just hypothesis. If I'm just looking at hypothesis, it will take forever for me to learn this. What it is required at this point in time is to learn what is required by the organization. Second, when you learn it hands on, it actually already reduces the time which you require to learn, probably conceptually, figure out, do trial and error, and then come back. That is a longer duration. Third is the question, to answer your question for that matter, that is level one, level two, level three. Level one is where you understand the pre existing models which is there in the market, which every organization is currently utilizing. They are learning how to train those models. You learn how to train those models from ground up. You learn how they will be solving. You learn the intelligence part of the process. You are learning how to solve problems effectively. You learn how to build your portfolio around it. And that's the level one in AI and machine learning, which involves all the technology, be it machine learning, deep learning, AI, NLP, Gen AI, agentic AI, whatever might be the case. Level two is where you are getting into you can call it as a mastering AI, which is where you get into more of mathematics and AI and machine learning and learn how to take data-driven decision making. So this is the step that you take when you're wanting to get into leadership, right? Or when you are into leadership and you have to have a more in-depth, when you're talking about how you can go ahead and utilize those models, how you can, logically, or rather how you can learn how to slowly tweak those models. And when I talk about this is what brings me to the level three, where the top professionals, when I talk about across the globe, only 1% of the top AI professionals, 1% is even a stretch, I would say, 0.67% of the people of the top professionals are capable enough to reinvent the existing models completely and solving a higher order business problem statement. So this is the level three, which is called as doctorate in AI and machine learning, right? So this depends on the levels and the duration will be dependent on that. So as I said before, even to Sheetal also, it is to do with prioritization as per the outcome that we're expecting. Based on that, we should go one, step at a time. I hope this answers your question. Who was this? I think this was anonymous, so I don't have your name. Uh, Fee structure, I think I've already answered. I am just coming back to these questions. Okay, Amit Kumar Sharma, you have asked me, hi, there's a Gen AI 6 months program from IIT Patna, as I came from a non-IT background. So I would not have any idea that I should join AI machine learning course. Please suggest me, should I do now in my case, as I will have to complete the 6 months. Then only I can join the AI machine learning program as a parallel. I can't learn both things. Please suggest. I mean, generally speaking, Amit, if you have any way that you can go ahead and convert that into an AI and machine learning program, that will be my suggestion. Learning Gen AI directly, while it sounds very promising or sounds very interesting and intriguing, is it solving your problem? If you're coming from a non-technical background at this point in time, for an example, um, you know, um, you're from a non-IT background, you've mentioned over here. So if you're coming in from a non-IT background, I'm sure if you're learning Gen AI, you're looking at a transition or a growth from here. And if that is the case, then your prioritization for choosing a program should be dependent on the outcome. Outcome in the field of generative AI, I'm not denying that particular fact, but coming from non-IT directly jumping into generative AI, not very likely event for you to happen where you'll be able to go ahead and get good opportunities in the market as well. So if you have the opportunity where you have the option to get into a more comprehensive AI and machine learning program anywhere, um, be it, I'm not sure IIT Patna, how long they have been doing this program, because I have been with IIT Bombay and IIT Madras for a while now. IIT Patna, I think they have very recently started this off. So understand the depth of it, because I'm sure outcome wise, any organization coming in from a non-IT background would require you to also have good foundation, machine learning, statistics, deep learning for that matter, and NLP for that matter. I'm sure in the 6 months program, NLP and all you'll be learning, but you'll not have hands-on from Python and ML model. So my suggestion would be for you to get into something which is more comprehensive if you've not started the full-fledged program as of yet. Um, Coming to Sheetal, I think you've already asked. Okay, I already am a full stack developer with 5 years of experience. Do you think it's better to stick to that or switch domains? I'm interested into AI because I like math, but do you get to do any math in the job? Yes, I mean, how do I say this? Statistics actually, you actually work on a lot of mathematical modeling also. So you do get to utilize it, but it is more tool driven, right? Rather, there's a logic involved, so math is most definitely involved. Um, because I feel similar to a CS degree, you need math to clear interviews, but don't actually need it in a job. Yes, I mean, yes and no, both, I would say, because modeling wise, if you talk about linear algebra being utilized or vectors for that matter being utilized as well, right? So you do that permutation and combination when you are, even writing the algorithms as well. So somewhere or the other, while probably you're fine tuning a model or trying to increase the accuracy level, you will have to do those mathematical or statistical calculations to figure out how you can actually increase the efficiency. So in AI, that kind of an integration you will see, you will find at work, and that's why the mathematics or statistics learning in the program is also there, right? So that's that. Talking about a full stack developer being into development, see, you have been working in both front end and back end yourself, right? So the point is, currently, if you look at the expectations, the projects that is coming around, it is in AI and machine learning for that matter. So for any one of us to look at sustainability or growth, all of us should be able to deploy themselves into projects and continue to have projects to handle to grow. And then the more complex projects you handle, the better the opportunities are, then you grow further from there. So you need to look at what kind of a growth perspective you have in that particular segmentation. 2019-20 was a time that full stack was actually growing significantly along with big data. At this point in time, I think the shift has moved, or it has moved or grown into AI and machine learning. Although there are many ways that you can actually, because you are coming in from a core technical background, so there are many integrations that we have in AI and machine learning into full stack as well. So it's not about, as I said before, being in the same domain, integrating AI will actually help you utilize your 5 years of experience better. And if required, I mean, if there is a opportunity where you are able to go ahead and get into a complete transition with a better salary package and a good company, maybe a product-based company for that matter, I mean, you should not just limit yourself to just this. You can always go ahead and make a full transition, because that pathway is also pretty good. And since you're an individual contributor, I don't think at this point in time it is going to give you any reset. And since the demand is higher than supply, when you talk about growth possibilities, because I know you will be having the aspect that I have already given my 5 years, right? Now I need to move into leadership, which will come. The process will be a little more faster. That's all. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the same roadmap that you have as a developer. You move from developer to a tech lead to to slowly into an architect, into delivery, and then get into director or leadership, basically technical leadership roles or strategic roles from there. Yes, process
Uh,
remains the same. What's the corresponding path? Corresponding path is similar. I mean, whatever you have in the normal segmentation is what you have over here. It's just that it requires an integration of AI. That's all. So
Shilpa, there
I,
is two more questions in Q&A.
yeah,
Just
Q&A, I
yeah,
have two more. Okay,
yeah.
Sheetal, I would request you to kindly also reach me out. I've given my number and the details if required be. You can reach us out in the website as well, whichever works fine with you. But I'll be happy to answer those questions as well. For the DBA program, does the institute help with essential support like public platform for publishing the work, filing for patents, and other doctorate level important tasks? Being a part of publishings and conferences, yes. Patents, I think a lot of people from Walsh have actually already filed for patents before. There is definitely a pathway involved, direct aspect, because when you talk about the DBA program over here, which is Walsh DBA, you get the second and the third year. Basically, the Walsh, when it gets involved, the faculties are also involved as well. So there you have more networking, more opportunities to be able to go ahead and find out pathway to file for patents. Doctorate level dissertation and doing the research, understanding the research methodologies. It has a proper framework which you will be having as a structure in the program as well. So yeah, I mean it does whatever it requires because DB is there since 1953. And Walsh DB is also, pretty old for that matter. And the structure is the main aspect, the framework, which minimum, it actually reduces your, I would say the to and fro process almost to negligible. And that's when the duration is also specific to 3 years as well. I hope you're the same person who has mentioned I'm working as a software engineer. Will I be offered a senior software engineer role after taking up the PGP program? Typically, if you want to say this, yes. While the job role might look the same of senior software engineer, you will have roles or projects which you're working on, which is in AI, generative AI. And that's the growth part that I'm talking about. So you are the one who is basically working in the AI project. So you could be the senior software engineer. You will be having a similar position because position wise, the roles have, I mean, the designation changes have not happened as much while there are many designations which has come along. But the expectation in those job roles, if you look at the skill set, have evolved significantly. And that requires, I mean, any segment you're talking about, that most definitely requires you to senior software engineer. The ultimate point is for you to work on a project. The projects currently are in AI and machine learning. So if you're having the PGP in AI and machine learning or a proper aspect in AI and machine learning, that's when you'll be able to go ahead and that's when you'll be able to go ahead and get into roles and projects which is to do with AI, Gen AI and agentic AI. So yeah, I mean, whatever you may call it in terms of designation, it is to do with AI and machine learning. So it could be senior software engineer. Yeah, but the pay is very high. So yeah, I hope this answers your question. Okay, do we provide placement assistance after taking up the program? Yes. It's a program which has a dedicated career support, of course. Starts from the 60% completion of the program, not just the support directly, but also one-to-one career preparation as well. Because at the end of the day, most of us, as I see it here also, most of us have the same question, which is how my 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 12 years of my career would look like from here. And all of us should focus on exponential growth, both growing in terms of roles and responsibilities, as well as in terms of our salary package. So for that to happen, of course, yes, we need to have a proper pathway. And this pathway, this training one-to-one happens from the industry top professionals, various levels, different industries you can choose. You have that one-to-one preparation which starts, and then we get into the actual platform. So we have our own in-house career platform, which is called as GL Accelerate. It is unlike LinkedIn, which is like a pool campus, or the other way. No, we have directly our tie-ups or our connects with 4,400 plus hiring partners. And as I said before, all of this is possible only when we have the right credibility when you're learning, because AI is not something that is a subsidy of domain of engineering or management for that matter. It's an independent field of research and development existing for a significant while. So it cannot be taught by anybody, or rather, while it is being offered by every odd person out there, it doesn't have the same recognition, because there is something called a source authentication of what you're learning and the depth of knowledge, and where you're learning it from talks about how effective problem solver you are, which is the ultimate point for you to clear an interview to get a job. And because that is there, that's when we have the career opportunities with 4,400 plus one of the top, organizations associated. And you get the career support, career access, job board access from the 60% completion. And these job boards are further down curated. So we have our career success team, which bifurcates them as per the profile, the years of experience that you're coming from. And then these are, curated and given to you so that you can apply for opportunities. And before then, there happens the one-to-one career preparation. Not just the preparation, you have mock interviews, you have the resume review sessions, because you'll have to also clear through the ATS round as well. So all of that is pretty customized, and yes, it does provide dedicated career support. Yes. So I think I have answered all the questions. Anybody else having anything that they would like to ask for? Um,
Yes, Shilpa, I think that's
I
it.
think that's it, right? So I think it was wonderful having you all on board, and I felt that all of you have raised very genuine questions. I'll be more than happy to connect any one of you. Please go ahead and feel free to reach out to me. Could be anything, could be any guidance that you require. I'll be more than happy to assist. Fill out the form, so that I can go ahead and I can help you out with any possible resources that I can. And feel free to just drop me a text or mail me if you have any queries further. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Vikas. I think you have been a great host. I'll
Thank you.
see you
Thank you, Shilpa.
the next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So, hi everyone. Please, if you have any more further queries, please fill out this form. Our consultants will get back to you to solve all your queries. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, Mail ID is already been shared. I'll just share it one more time.
You can just share it once again.
Yeah.
I think it's there in the chat. But yeah. Do you have it,
Yes.
Vikas?
Yes. That I have shared it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay.
No, that's I think not the one. It is there is in missing in that actually. I just
Okay.
realized after sending. Yeah, I think I've sent the correct one to all of you. Okay, just to you, I think I've responded back.
I will just copy paste it. It's
To everyone, right? Just mention this and the number
yes.
and my number as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Please, if you have any other questions, you can always reach back to me. I think I have. Okay then. Thank you so much,
Okay.
guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.